At the end of the day, selling is transferring a feeling. If you don't have the feeling, you can't transfer it. If you don't have a good, positive feeling, dude, you're an actor. You have to sell and run your business from a place of positivity. And however you get there, God bless you. Welcome to the Primeau Show. It is episode 179. And we are here with my friend Jeff Giagnocavo from Gardner's Mattress. And we're going to be talking about money in your mattress, how you as a store owner find it. And before we get to that, let me just pay the bills really quickly. Sell a million, 101 tips for furniture and mattress store owners to sell another $1 million or more this year. If you get this book on Amazon, I think it's still under $20. And you need any help implementing anything in that book, just call me at 419-560-3169. I'd like to thank my friends at the Mattress Industry Network Group for supporting the Primeau Show and being our longest sponsor. Appreciate you so much, Greg and Steve. Thank you for being here, and thank you for supporting our show. If you are in the mattress industry, and you want to build, market, sell, and succeed in the mattress industry, you're at the right place at the right time. Hit that QR code right there and join us. I think close to 3,000 strong right now. Everybody's in here, store owners, sales reps, store owners. I said that already. Sorry about that. Sales pros at retail and owners of manufacturing facilities and VPs of sales. If you want to get plugged in to this industry, join the Mattress Industry Network Group today. And without further ado, Jeff, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Pete.
And you know,
be back with you.
It's kind of funny. The easy way to introduce you to the industry is Jeff Giagnocavo, co-owner of Gardner's Mattress and more, but you have all kinds of other businesses that you do, Big Ticket Life, among others. And, your career has really, I've just watched it blossom and actually get bigger than the industry, which is fascinating and interesting. One of the things that has been amazing to me, Jeff, since I met you, and I remember when I met you, it was down in Florida, and
Super Conference
at the Dan Kennedy Super Conference, and you were talking back then about customer experience. More and more people are joining the chatter about customer experience, but I think nobody has addressed it more thoroughly than you have. So what role does customer experience play in finding the money in your mattress?
I mean, to me, it's the last, if you think about the battle on Main Street, experiences, it's that last position to defend. And it also becomes that position to win from and go on back on the offense as a Main Street mattress retailer. We have so many forces that are out there working against the retail community, from the online direct to consumer partners. We have changing vendor retailer relationships and sales channels that get blurred. We have tremendous skepticism from our shared consumer overall. We cut through all that noise with experience. And if I may, I'll share a little consumer story that I had this morning, if that's okay.
Sure.
So my father-in-law passed back in May, and my wife and I are managing the estate with my wife as the executor, and I'm helping really at her direction, which is a unique dynamic in our relationship because usually it's the other way around. But I've been very respectful to her position in this. So this morning I'm over there, we're getting ready to put the house on the market and to sell. And, I'm helping the landscaper that I found park, because it's a tight street and there's parking on one side of the street and he's got his trailer. So parking was a concern. As I'm pulling up, I drive by another grass cutting landscape truck. Well, this guy comes down. He says, "Hey, is this your father-in-law? Is it?" Or he says, "Is this like whose house is this? How are you involved with the Dennis's house?" I said, "Well, that was my father-in-law." He said, "Oh, well, what? You're having that guy do work now?" I said, "Yeah. Who are you?" "Oh, I did work for Dennis all the time." I said, "Well, I don't think that's true because he really loved working on his yard." "No, I helped him out last year when he was a little worn out." I said, "Okay." I said, "So we've been getting mail here. I mean, we took over the mail back in February when he went in the hospital. Did you send him anything?" I said, "Honestly, I would have loved to have a resource." "Well, I got a little busy, got a little behind." I said, "So you forgot about your customer?" He said, "Well, I wouldn't say it that way." I said, "Well, how would you say it?" I said, "Don't come here and accost me over this." I said, "By the way, thanks for the condolences."
Wow.
All this guy was caring about is the fact that he had in his face that he lost his customer. And I think so often our industry just sticks to that one night stand approach. We sell one thing, one time to one person. And that's a really transactional way to go about business. And as in this case this morning, it very much was like, yeah, I'm sorry. Like, I'm looking, we want to get this house listed. We want it sold because in this day and age, a vacant home in a neighborhood is not a good thing, unfortunately. It's a sad commentary of our society. Um, we just want it done. And we wanted to get this done as fast as possible. So we found somebody else that was referred to us. And that's the thing. Like, what are you doing to create those referrals? What are you doing to not one night stand your customer? I think that's the worst thing you can do to have be done to you as a consumer. And I think it's the worst thing you can do to your customers is sell one thing one time to one person.
So, Jeff, what's your real take on this guy? Because I have a take on it, but it's
I
from
don't think you did anything.
yeah, this is the take from a kid that was born and raised in Schenectady, New York. Okay. My take on it is if the guy ever did anything, it was a one night stand.
Oh yeah.
He wasn't a regular customer. And this guy is trying to pretend that he has a relationship that he doesn't
Yeah.
have to try to get work that he's not entitled to.
Yeah.
And it's just like, have absolutely zero integrity, dude. Like,
Yeah.
really? I mean, like, how much money are we talking about here?
Yeah.
A
It
few
felt
$100s, a few $1,000s? Do you need money that bad that you willing to lie on the dead about it? Seriously?
yeah.
Ugh.
If my guess, if there was in fact any work done, because my father-in-law took a lot of pride in enjoying his yard, meticulously laid out. Um, sadly, this spring with everything going on just wasn't kept up. Now it's being done, but my guess is if there was any work done at the home, it was probably in the winter with some snow removal as he was working on the street. But yeah, it felt very much Sopranos, Feach LaManna, and who was the other guy who had the route? If you know The Sopranos and you know the episodes I'm talking about, um, but he walked the one guy ended up walking around with his arm up in a sling for a while because it got broke by the other guy. Anyway, we digress. We're not here to talk about all that, but I wanted to start there with that very important point that here was somebody that one night stood up his customer and client. Um, and the easiest business to get is the business you've already done with people, um, because you've already earned their trust once. Go get it again.
Yeah.
Do it over and over. And I know that's difficult with a product we sell once a decade, right? Um,
Yeah.
but we often forget that there's 3, 4, 5 other bedrooms in the home that we can do business around. And there's friends and there's family and there's coworkers that we can, create referral systems around. So there's no reason to take this one night stand approach.
So, Jeff, you are blessed to be in a coaching relationship with a lot of really good retailers. How does their customer experience differ than to the average customer experience in an average sleep shop?
I think it differs greatly because I mean they're focused on it, and that's the thing. What we know in life, what gets focus gets improvement. And as long as you're committed to that focus, you will start to see the win. I have a lot of folks come to me and say, I need help with this, I need help with that. I see you're doing this and I see you're doing that. And the reality is we are. Um, but it didn't just happen. It's been a 10, 13. Well, I mean, it's 13 years this May that I've co-owned this business. Um, it's been 13 years of intentional focus to be all about the experience, to curate amazing product, to truly be a place that leans into the better sleep message. And it's hard to say that takes commitment and consistency. When things are slow, it's really hard to not want to put out the 50 to 80% off road signs, that are pretty easy to get nowadays. Like on a Wednesday, you can decide, okay, I tap out. It's time to get sales. We're going to put those out. And that's happened over the years. I'm not going to say it hasn't, but the damage that can create happens pretty quick.
Yeah.
And I'll share an anecdote related to that, if it's all right.
Sure.
We had a customer, this goes back a number of years. Maybe I want to say this might be going back 10 years now, 2014, 2015, because I think it was on heirloom product. And heirloom today, I think, has a lot of great things figured out. But back then, if it was heirloom, the consumer wanted Earl. God rest his soul, right?
Yeah.
They wanted a piece of Earl cleft. And the current brand managers have done a good job of separating that because obviously Earl has long since passed. But back then they wanted a piece of Earl. Well, the only way to get that was through the big department store relationships. And so when it came time to just wrap that partnership up, we did. And, we sold floor models off at a deep discount. Well, advertising that deep discount hurt us because we had a customer that came in, stormed in, after just having had their mattress delivered, say this kind of advertising, I never would have come to do business with you on. I don't buy things at a discount. I buy things at a premium. If I'd have known heirloom was a discounted product, I never would have bought it. It was very eye-opening. And we had to say, okay, let's take a step back. Let's explain what you have in your home is not discounted product. What we're offering here is product that's been on our floor for about 2 years. And it's just time for our partnership to change. And we're closing out those models. And, you're not sleeping on a bargain basement discount product. You're sleeping on a tremendous product. It's somebody who has a need for this in a king size and that in a queen size is going to get a fantastic deal. But it's not like you're sleeping. And we just kind of had to walk that back. But it was a very important moment that taught me the perception your customers can take and internalize pretty quickly. And I thanked the gentleman for the interaction because that was opportunity to learn something. Like, yeah, you have to be really careful the messages that you put out there. And I think our industry is learning that this year. It feels like this year more than ever, right? It seems we're doing a lot of business around the holidays and then it's wastelands in between.
Yeah. 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 And we've created that as an industry. I remember when I was at CERTA, we were making every attempt to make that a reality. And we did. We trained over a period of 30, 40 years. We've trained the retail consumer that, July 4th is a great day to buy a mattress. And so is Labor Day, and so is Memorial Day. And we've trained them. And instead of focusing on helping a customer wake up happy and pain-free, to steal a Jeff Giagnocavo phrase, probably trademarked phrase.
Not trademarked, but that's okay.
So there's a dealer watching today, and he or she is thinking to themselves, you know what? I really need to start to focus in on this customer experience thing. I've been that discounter guy and gal, and I don't want to be that anymore. First, one step to take for them,
Yep.
what would your advice be?
Uh, everybody wants that one thing, right?
Or
And
one or two or three,
yeah,
whatever.
you know, and I'll share it. I'll share it, but I'll preface it with this statement. You know, so much of business success is like that incredible gumbo or jambalaya, right? That is a family recipe passed down. There's so many parts and pieces that go into it. There's protein, there's vegetables, there's spices, there's time, there's prep, all of it that you don't see, but you definitely taste and you definitely experience. And so one thing out of a gumbo or jambalaya is just going to taste like a boiled piece of meat or a fried vegetable, right? When you're doing experience right, it's everything put together and it's incredible. One thing is like a piece of meat on the plate. It's the side dish, it's the dessert. That's one thing. And that doesn't make a meal, it doesn't make an experience. But if I were to say one thing, it's to commit to the education of your customer on the better sleep and the power of your products and what they can do. Like for our mattress retailer toolkit, I was listening to a podcast this morning um, about dementia. My grandmother passed from dementia and Alzheimer's. And it really bothers me because knowing what I now know about the sleep experience and the benefits of sleep and the direct health benefits of great sleep, I now realize my grandparents not getting sleep in intervals of 90 minutes, in other words, 6 hours to that 7.5 hour window. There's one of our rock stars in Mattress Retailer Toolkit,
Tara is
and
an
Vernon,
absolute rock star.
down at Jacksonville Bedding.
The queen of be-back bucks.
Yeah, they're just rocking it.
Stew, no tomatoes in the gumbo. And you got to make a good roux, right? You start off with a good roux.
Yeah, Mama. I guess that's
Mama made her own roux. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah. But where was I going there?
Better sleep education.
Yeah, better
Commit
sleep
to it.
education. Yeah. So knowing what I now know about that, man, it's awful to me to know that I didn't get to change that for my grandparents. I mean, COVID disrupted the ability for me to see them living in Canada, obviously me here living here in the US. So that's 4 years, 5 years. Lives got busier those last few years prior to that. And, we talked and we saw each other, but I didn't really get to impart and change 80 plus years of behaviors on them. And now it's abundant to me that part of that onset for my grandmother was definitely a sleep routine related issue. And so one of the things that we'll do, and for some of my members listening, which are Tara and Stu, and I don't know if others are, I'm going to commit to publishing a Sleep Better Pocket Guide on the bookshelf that we offer for sleep issues directly correlated to poor sleep and sleep habits. Because we have to put that out there if we're going to say we're selling sleep. We have to let people know what that issue is. And there's an example of the digital bookshelf that's on our website, but all of our members get that. And this is education. This is help before you sell. I mean, the name of our corporate company that holds Mattress Retailer Toolkit and the other stuff we do inside the industry for others is called Infotail. It's information first selling through the front door of a retail store, Infotail. Now that one is trademarked. I've long believed that education and demonstrating education, we've had for a long time our Sleep Better book, which we don't have up on the screen, but I have a copy right here. This morphed from a guide into a book, and now we're into a pocket guide series. That would be the one tip, because here's what happens. Like I said, it took a lot of commitment and consistency to not throw out those 50% off bandit signs and go the guerrilla marketing heavy discount way. When you're the author and presenter of this kind of information, when you have your name on a book called Sleep Better, And really none of it talks about price, and none of it talks about discounts, and none of it talks about buy it today. It holds your feet to the fire. You're either the author, the publisher, producer, the believer of that information, or you're not. It also becomes a training and selling tool, becomes an acquisition tool. It's very much like a Swiss Army knife, and it elevates your business, it elevates your experience, and connects you to your customers in a way that other people can't.
So
That would be the one thing. Commit to education.
commit to better sleep education, which once you're committed to that, you're marketing with information instead of with discounts, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're elevating the position that you sell from. And so
Yep.
you're not selling from hey, you kind of got to come in now and get it at 70% off. Today's the last day. By the way, tomorrow's the last day, and the next day's the last day. And
Yep.
so you go from a huckster to an expert.
Yep.
And over time, if you are marketing yourself with social media, you're going to actually become the celebrity too locally. And we're not talking about, you can't go out to eat without people hitting you up for autographs. We're not talking about, Michael Jackson celebrity or Liberace
Right. But
celebrity.
you can be 5 Mile famous.
Yes.
And that's the goal.
And I've never gone out to eat with Scott Vaughn in Paducah, Kentucky, without him seeing at least 3 or 4 people, and them saying hi to him, or people coming by and saying hi to us. It's just never happened.
And that happens. And because I've seen his advertising. His
Yeah.
advertising involves family, it involves community, it involves his children.
Yeah.
It involves things that people remember. Pets, yeah. If it involved get this product at a discount, that's fleeting. Nobody remembers that.
Yeah.
I mean, even not to take the show blue, but even like the most viral woman on the internet this week and last week is the Haktua girl. Well, she got brought out. I saw a clip. She got brought out on a country music stage and said the line, and I would have thought that crowd would have just exploded. Now, they're already over it. And that line and phrase is not something that most people are going to be proud of, not something most people want to be known about and for, and it's already over. And so again, like, what do you want your advertising, what marketing message do you want to be known for? Do you want to be remembered for? What can you create and build of lasting value?
Right. And, one of the things that strikes me, Jeff, as I've gotten to know you over the years, what you guys put out there as marketing and what happens when the customer comes into the store, you see the light bulbs going off, because it's not the first time they've seen the inside of the store. They've seen it in some of your ads. They seem to be like checking boxes off in their head, like, this is the place. This is the place. And it's really, really cool how we market and what happens when they walk into the store really line up. They're aligned. And that's when really, really positive things happen between sales pros and consumers that need to wake up happy and pain-free.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a very interesting story, a real selling story off of that. So this goes back a number of years. We had Carpe Diem on the floor. So I think that's around 2013, 2014-ish.
Yeah.
It's Black Friday. Black Fridays for us have never been a busy day. It's not a holiday. We've tried early on to promote into those holidays to no avail, mind you. And I'm talking a queen all wood platform bed with a queen mattress, for $397. You would think we would have lit the world on fire. Nope, didn't sell one.
Yep.
That was when it's like, okay, maybe we really need to lean into this education thing.
Yeah.
So fast forward a couple years, customer comes in, says, I want to buy this Carpe Diem bed. I forget the model, but I remember the price. It was 20 grand. And in 20 minutes time, we're at the sales desk and I have an Amex Black card in my hand. And it's like, do I really actually swipe this without question? So I swiped it, did all the paperwork. And I said, sir, I said, please forgive me. I don't want to have you think any certain way about us. But I have to ask, you have just invested in one of the most expensive mattresses that we have on our showroom floor, and you're here for 20 minutes. I want you to be happy. What what gives? You told me you knew about the brand. You told me you experienced it, but I'm kind of curious. He says, all you had to do is not screw it up. He's like, I've slept on this brand overseas. I've slept on it numerous times throughout Europe.
Yeah.
I've did my research on the brand. I looked up the owner on LinkedIn. I love it. I want it. So if you want to sell to me, let's do it. If you don't want to sell to me, tell me right now. I said, no, that's not why I asked at all. I said, I asked because I very much care about our customers and their experience. I said, you're the exception to the rule. And I said, that's what makes you you. And that kind of made him smile. And I said, fantastic. We'll get this on order. We'll get the colors, the legs you want. And that was it. It was like 20 minutes. We had leg choice, color choice. Like it was like selling a piece of furniture because in a way it was. It's not like you buy this model of this brand or that brand. No, you bought the model and then you made choices on your fabrics. You made choices on your legs. Did you want a headboard or not? 20 minutes in and out, done. It was like the fastest $20,000 sale we ever made. But it went to the point of everything you do, you need to be affirming today because there's so much information that's out there. And this is more true today than it was 12, 13 years ago, whatever that was. We don't sell things today. We affirm choices for the customer. We affirm information for the customer. And that equates to the experience of things. If we try to put them back into our cycle of information, our lane of information, and buck what they've seen out there, you're putting yourself in an uphill battle. You need to put yourself in a position of affirmation. Even if that information we know deep down is wrong, we need to, in a way, affirm how they've come to us in a positive way. Because the customer's perception is this information in front of them is accurate and true.
Yep. So, Jeff, I'm a retailer and I'm watching this show and I'm curious. Like, how do I get my hands on those books, man? Like, how do I become an authority? How do I become a celebrity? How do I start making a bigger commitment towards this? What do I do?
I mean, we make it easy. You become a member of Mattress Retailer Toolkit. It's a $7 trial for 7 days. You get to experience everything we have to offer.
Stop. You did not say $7 and 7 days.
Yep. Easy trial. We just want you to experience it.
Wow.
And then it's $97 a month, no contracts thereafter.
Wow. That's insane. That's like dumb.
It is. We want as in my partners, we want to see retail succeed. You know, we've already talked about a few of our members on the show, Tara, Vernon, Stu. I see Marnie's chiming in. I see Randy's chiming in. You know, I helped make connections for Marnie to get merchandise on her floor. Randy's had success. He had a $6,600 sale. Like, that's why I'm doing this, to see retailers succeed. Back when I was a rep, you met me at Super Conference because I was working hard because I wasn't a legacy rep.
Right.
My daddy's granddaddy didn't pass down a territory to me.
Right.
Everything I had, I carved out on my own, and I'm proud of it.
Yeah.
I don't come from the mattress firm coaching tree, so to say. I don't come from a name brand coaching tree, right? Like you got the Belichick coaching tree in football. You got the Saban coaching tree in college ball. I'm my own tree, and I'm really proud of it. Now, it doesn't mean I'm proud of it to a point of arrogance. I'm just proud of it to a point of I take what I know and apply it to our industry, and I help to lead others to success. And when I see that happening, because look, we have, I don't know, 50 some members at this point. Everybody gets the same information at the same time.
You gotta love Stu. He wants you to triple the price so he can get commission.
I should create a master
It's
resale.
now $297 a month. I'm sorry, we misspoke. So that Stu can get a commission.
Yeah. I should create a master resale program and let Stu run with that.
And Stu, you're right. We are lucky if we can eat lunch for $7 anymore. Marnie Kirby. Marnie's a brand new store owner in Michigan. And she says, store. I can't put in words how much that support means to me.
Yep.
And Randy Thompson at Van Wert Bedrooms. We were down 28% through 6/15/24. End of the month, we are up 43%. Big change was bonus bucks, great ideas, MRT rocks. Wow. And Texas Mattress Barn. My dogs are employees of the month for May and June. Hey, Glenn, thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Justin Trumbo, owner of BedTech. BedTech and our entire team is excited to partner with Jeff. Him and I have worked together for 9 years, and I'm excited to see him help. I'm excited to see him helping others succeed. I am too. It is seeing how excited these retailers are and them finding success in not an easy retail environment right now.
Yeah.
And that's the proof is in the pudding, right? The proof is in the eating. Andy Anderson, 297 would be worth every penny. Absolutely. 100%.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, I love that. I mean, that makes me proud. I'm proud of our members. You know, when I was heavily involved in the Dan Kennedy super conference world of things, which again, I did because I saw a need to differentiate myself as a sales rep. You know, I could probably go back on YouTube way back and bring up the first flip video, flip camera video I did, which was like a little pocket camcorder device. Did it in a Corsicana bedding showroom in Vegas, and really just started to differentiate myself with video content. This is back in like 2006, 7. Mm-hmm. It was that point of differentiation. I created a newsletter. I remember in my newsletter, I put in some sheets that were like unheard of prices. They were today what we know as the Miles Sanders collection. It's the inexpensive, really terrible brushed polyfiber stuff. But look, I served promotional, value-oriented retailers, so it worked.
Yeah.
And that little insert in the newsletter, man, I came home to the Maury Dichter, the guy that I represented the company from. He wrote commission checks every order. I came home to like a stack of commission checks because I was different. I was filling orders in Vegas and you shipping them out as fast as I filled them. And my point in sharing all this is I sought to be different. I sought to deliver a different experience to my retailers beyond just saying, here's a mattress at a price. Video education, different. Newsletter education, different. Okay. Delivering training around product, different. I mean, I helped a large chain actually sell mattresses when they had a name brand on the floor for a long time, wrote their training manual and, turned them into a mattress company. And was proud to do that. And I was proud to see the success of everybody. And I'm proud today to see that happen for our members, because there is a lot of opportunity within the mattress that we sell. As I said right out of the gate, we forget we have 3 to 4 other selling opportunities with every one customer. We forget that. In fact, July's tool addresses that with what we're calling comeback cash. Really, that tool swiped and deployed from other things that I see out there. So I've always had my marketing radar on to bring forth new ideas to people, and MRT really is kind of that hub to do that now. And I love that we're helping the industry.
Chris Tahaney, Senior Vice President at DreamFit. Your partnership with Ben helps to free you up to do all of the great work you're doing serving our industry. What is it about Ben that makes him such a great partner? What do you think Ben would say about you that makes you such a great partner to him? Ben, is this you? Do you have a Chris Tahaney mask on? And is there a slippery slope when an owner doesn't have a partner like yours? Wow, that's kind of complicated. Jeff,
Well,
go ahead.
I mean, it goes to a thread that I saw. I forget in which of our industry has a number of Facebook groups, which is great. Community getting together, sharing information. I love all of it. Um, Somebody had commented about delegation, and my reply back in the thread was, "You're not going to get to $1 million business um, taking job-like actions, having job-like leadership. You want 7 figures, you got to take 7-figure actions. You have to do 7-figure things. You have to hire people that push you out of your comfort zone, whether that's, in the fact that you have to delegate and let things go, whether that compresses your payroll a little bit, meaning you take home a little less for an interim period. It really is distilled down to Wayne Gretzky's quote. How did Wayne Gretzky become the all-time points leader in hockey? He skated to where the puck was going, not where it had been.
Yeah.
He became a great goal scorer because of anticipation, foresight, vision to see the ice and know that the puck to score a goal had to be put on net. And he just went to that spot that he could put it on net. And which, by the way, is why the Edmonton Oilers lost the Stanley Cup Finals this year. They got too fancy with their passing. Just a little aside. When I played hockey as a kid, it was my coach would scream 1, 2, 3, and if on that third shot the puck wasn't going towards the net, we knew we were skating suicides after practice. At any rate, I digress. The partnership thing, delegation thing is really one and the same. The thing that I think a lot of people think about is that Ben is tied here to the store 24/7 while I'm doing things like this, while I'm in Las Vegas, while I'm at my campsite, while I'm on vacation. Couldn't be further from the truth. Ben's not here. Ben's here, but he's not here 24/7.
Yep.
Ben has 3 days a week here at the store. I have 2. We're both working from home. We both work on other projects in that time. So it's not like we're not working, but we're still very much connected to our business. We've hired incredible people.
Yeah.
There was another thread, Keith Moneymaker, who I'm getting more and more connected to. He put up about show your reviews off. And what are the common words that Google's identified in your reviews? Well, in our reviews, one of those words is Drew. That's our sales manager, Drew.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. I don't want to see my name up there. I'm the owner of this business. I'm not a seller. I'm not a salesperson. That's Drew. That's Chad. That's Phil. I want to delegate that role.
So I was going to bring this up, but since you did, I'm going to expand on it a little bit. So Chris, Drew is really the secret to this whole thing, but the real secret is Ben and Jeff both knew where they wanted this business to go, and they started to make it go that way. And they have literally poured into Drew. I've watched Drew go from a sales guy who was confident to a literal superstar.
Yep.
He runs that store and he runs it extremely well. Uh, this guy is an absolute rock star, and Drew is not an accident. It's not an accident. Did he come with some skills? Absolutely. Did he come with some characteristics which made him special? Absolutely. But Ben and Jeff have worked with him over the years and have given him increasing responsibility. And I'm going to tell you something. If you want a flower to bloom, you've got to water them. You got to
Yep.
put something into it. And if you don't, they're going to starve on the vine. And what happens when you give somebody more responsibility is they start to step up their game. They realize they're part of it. If you were to ask Drew, do you feel like you're part of this company, or do you just like have a little playbook that you run for this company? He would absolutely tell you that he feels like he's a part owner. He
Yep.
feels like he's creating the customer experience with Jeff and Ben and his teammates at Gardner Mattress and More. And that's what everybody should be striving for. And it's not easy. You know, the word delegation, it's a great word, but let's talk about that
Yeah.
for a minute.
It
Because
often
it
delegation often becomes micromanagement.
or the other, or here and walk away and no
Yeah.
feedback.
No
And then when it goes
accountability.
sideways, then all kinds of feedback.
Yep. Yep. I
So
mean, this picture on the screen right now, I'm proud of. I'm immensely proud of. You got Phil, Chad, and Drew on that picture. I mean, these guys are front and center. I have friends and family hit me up to buy. It'll happen this week again because I made a post on my personal social media about the events we got going on, and they want to buy from me, which really, in a way, is code for I want a discount. And it's like, well, if you want to work with me, first of all, you're going to have to like get here on a Thursday in the afternoon between about 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock, because that's about the only time each week that I'll possibly allow in my schedule for selling on the floor. Because I employ a team of fantastic people who are great at helping you find the right fit, and that's their job. And I'm not going to take from their mouths. So work with them. Oh, well, I kind of wanted to work with you to get a little discount. Well, if you want to work with me and it's going to be outside of that time, it's actually going to cost you more because you're taking away from my other income producing activities and my schedule that I maintain each week. And so we have a team of great people, and we created these little graphics to show them off and humanize. And that would be another thing that I think we forget. You
let
know,
me just be very rude and stop you. Chris, go back to that. Everybody that's watching, you wanted some great content, you wanted some great ideas, something you could
yep,
implement in your store today. Do this. Do this right here. Make your sales pros rock stars.
yep,
Feature their testimonials.
yep,
Advertise them and make them rock stars. The only other dealer that I know that does it, and he's not the only dealer that does it, but Scott Vaughn does this with encouraging his people to star in the videos.
yep. And we
Look at
do a
this
little bit of that
with
too.
Phil and
Yep.
Chad, with testimonials and little inside fun facts about them. I didn't know Drew was a classically trained pianist. I
Yep.
didn't know that. I didn't know he was a Trekkie. Now that I know, I didn't know he
Okay.
was a roller skater,
Roller
roller
coaster
coaster
fan. Yep.
fan, and a rider.
Yep.
Well, I did know that a little bit because we have talked about Cedar Point
Yep.
before. Um, but
Yeah. I
guys, this
mean,
is a great idea. Go ahead, Jeff. I'm sorry. I'm done
I
butting
think,
in.
yeah, I mean, I think a lot of folks forget to personalize and humanize their company. And I think that's a trend that is developing more and more in our business with these direct to consumer partnerships. So I want to go there in a minute, but I want to wrap up on a question that Andrew asked in the comments, and to wrap up on Chris's. We also humanize our delivery crew. By the way, folks, you're inviting two strangers into your customer's personal bedroom. Think about that. Their friends and family don't even go there. Okay. And yet we do business in their bedroom. So like this is a page our customers get pointed to now, and they get to meet Sean and John, the crew that's going to be in their home and in their bedroom. Okay. Um, as a husband, I'm always cognizant of who's in my home when I'm not there with my wife and with my children.
Yeah.
You know, and I have two older teenage boys. They're like never home anymore. So it's largely my wife, and my dumb dogs aren't going to do anything because they're just like as laid back as can be anymore. So I'm always concerned with that on a personal level, and your customers aren't all that dissimilar to you. And so that's a great way to humanize and personalize your company. To the partnership stuff, you know, what would Ben say about me? Visionary, hard charging, passionate. What I would say about Ben, he's the yin to my yang. And that's what makes a good partner, which is what Andy Anderson asked. Like partnership, you don't want people that are the same as you because you get confirmation bias. You have people who don't do the integration when you need to implement the visionary ideas. In a phrase, in a nutshell, I'm the visionary and Ben's the integrator. We lock arms and work so well in lockstep together that I can pass things off to him. He can uh, complement everything that I do so well, and I can complement everything that he does so well.
So,
You know,
Andy, I wish you were a little older. Just watch Rocky. Rocky and Adrian, we fill gaps. You and your partner need to fill gaps in more ways than one, in skill set, but also in temperament. If you got two really hot-blooded partners, not going to work. One of you's got to be the calm and influence, and the other should be a firecracker.
yep.
Seriously, because if you're two super calm, super chill guys, you're never going to do anything. So you need a firecracker. You need someone who's a little more chill. Larry Soroka, the best rep in the mattress industry. Jeff and Ben empower their employees and do hundreds of little things that many businesses never even think about. They do have an excellent team on their floor. Absolutely. I couldn't agree more, Larry. I know you spent a lot of time with those guys, and I'm blessed to be part of it too. So it's remarkable to see somebody actually walk the walk that they're talking, instead of they say one thing and then they do another.
Yeah,
So
and I would say the same of Larry. Larry's somebody that challenges me. I've known Larry my whole career. He was one of the first industry reps I was introduced to when I started in September of 2002, I guess it was. And Larry and I are good friends. We've traveled the world together looking at mattress opportunities, and we've had a lot of fun. Stayed at a lot of markets together, rode in a lot of rental cars together, had a lot of dinner together. So Larry's a good guy.
absolutely.
Sure. Yep.
He is anybody that gets a chance to spend any time with Larry Soroka, you're with one of the smartest guys in the industry. And if you don't ask him good questions, shame on you.
Yeah.
And I don't
Larry,
care if you're a rep. I don't care if you're a store owner. I don't care if you own 100 stores. You can learn something from this guy. So sorry, Larry. I didn't mean to embarrass you.
Larry commented on something about us empowering our employees to do hundreds of little things that many never think of. And that's true. And there's two takeaways in that comment. One is the depth and complexity of your business will equate to its stability and the success of it. Because people will see parts and pieces and they'll try to copy it, but they'll miss the context and they'll fail.
Yep.
It boiled down, it's Ray Kroc's "I innovate faster than they copy" statement from McDonald's.
Yep.
And then the other part of empowering is, yeah, we do. We enable our people to, like we enable Drew to handle all of our comfort exchanges. He knows our marching orders and he has parameters he can work within. Anything else, he comes to us. Basically, we have $500 to make it right. If we've had a major flub, which is rare, but if we've had a mistake, anybody on our team is allowed to spend $500 of our money to make it right with our customers. And often when that happens, it's not even that much, but they are empowered. And that's a big thing if you want to build a great team, is empower them to do things on your behalf for their customers, for themselves.
A lot of the questions that I get from store owners these days all revolves around personnel, revolves around how difficult it is to find somebody that's good, how difficult it is to keep good people. And I'm going to say something, might be a little on the bold side, but I'm going to let you, correct it and put a finer point on it. But I'm going to say this to you, Mr. and Mrs. Store Owner. If your employee feels like he or she is helping to create what the store is ultimately being, that person will never leave you. If they feel like they are a creative force in your business, that they are listened to, that they are valued, they will never leave. Coach me up. Where am I wrong?
No, I mean, I agree 100%. And also, if there's a robust series of systems and operations and procedures and accountability steps, again, the depth and complexity of your business equals stability and success. It's kind of hard for people to leave and go compete with you and start their own thing, which I know is something that happens in our industry. If they feel and they just see you're slinging rectangles at a price and you're in a location that can easily be had, and it works off of road signs and Facebook ads, and that's the recipe for success as they see it, it's pretty easy to go do that on their own, right? They see that, and oftentimes they'll go out and try to do that on their own. Whereas if you've empowered them to be a part of the business and gain reward in the business through a good compensation plan, a good bonus plan, if you're deciding to give up some equity, you could do that too, although I often caution against that. There's a lot of ways to accomplish it, but that depth and complexity solves a lot of problems. But it takes commitment, it takes consistency, and it takes an eye for a long-term plan of success and implementation, and fortitude to weather it all.
Yeah. Well, the reality is you don't want a business that's easy to duplicate. You don't.
Right.
You don't want one. You want a business that is difficult or impossible to duplicate.
Yep.
Because when you have that business, that's a stable business. When it's cookie cutter, when it's easy to copy. And so that's straight out of Dan Kennedy. And I thought he was a little bit crazy when I first heard it. But as I heard him get into that subject, I said, wow, that is 100% on the money. So, mattress retailer toolkit. Dealers are raving about this. I know we talked about it briefly, but I really want you to get into it a little bit. We only have a few minutes left. I want to make sure that everybody that is watching this knows like the exact next step
Yep.
that they should take and what they can expect.
Yeah. So, what you can expect is to have access to tools, templates, training that's going to help grow your business, build ticket value, get more sales, and build that experience. That's what we focus on. We're not really sales training. That's a great place to go to All-in-One and Bob Munkle and check out what he's doing. He's a friend, and at some point in the future, you're going to see our efforts align and lock arms together through his platform. But for us, if you want to grow ticket value, build sales, get more referrals, lean into that experience, that's what we're all about. It starts really simple. It's $7, 7-day trial. We don't just take your card and hope you forget about us and we forget about you. Not the case at all. We actually have a little onboard sequence through email. We want to see you gain success. And on day 6 and day 7, we're reminding you, hey, your trial's wrapping up. If you want to stop, just click this button and it ends. If you want to continue, you just continue and there's nothing else to do. It's $97 a month thereafter. There's no contracts. You can leave as easy as you came. There's a button inside the portal to cancel membership. If you joined us in the middle of the night, you ought to be able to leave in the middle of the night. And I like to say it that way because I've signed up for things and it's a pain in the butt to get it to stop, and it shouldn't be, right? Actually, over in Europe, they have legislation for that. Um, we kind of took a page from their book, and so it's right there in the community to manage your membership. But we hope you never leave. My bargain is I want to make you stay month over month. I want to earn the right to bill your credit card each month and deliver you great tools and great trainings that grow your business, expand your thinking, help you, find solutions, help you find partnerships like we did for Marnie. Um, that's what we want to do. And that's our promise at Mattress Retailer Toolkit. Grow your business. I see Stu's commenting. Something else here. I've been involved in many coaching environments, and this is almost done for you, but just not done enough. Can't lose in MRT unless you don't show. Exactly. And I was commenting on that earlier. Like, everybody gets all the information at once. And I can highlight some of our rock stars. And it's not just one team down in Jacksonville, which they are our June superstars of the month for June. We run monthly contests. I'll break it here. They've won hands down our monthly contest for June. 34 grand plus in sales. Yeah, 100%. They've paid for years of membership with us with just one monthly tool. And they're already on July's tool, which they dovetail together. But Randy Thompson, $6,600 sale. It's first reported one, and not everybody reports. Not everybody shares as robustly as others.
Well, let's
and that's
talk
okay.
let's talk about Randy for a little bit. I've known Randy for pretty close to the 40 years that I've been doing it, and I have never seen him so motivated, and he's really like enjoying his experience with Mattress Retailer Toolkit, and Amy is helping him implement the stuff, and they're making headway. And you couldn't get a better testimonial than what he wrote earlier, right?
Yeah, no, it was great. And that's the thing I was commenting. Not everybody shares as robustly as, say, Vernon and Tara do down at Jacksonville, but Randy's had success. We helped his business in June. Stu's shared his. We've been able to connect Marnie to some vendor partnerships, and she's using the tools and the training. We've got, I always like learning people's social handles. So the Rotund X, he's one of our members, I guess. We're growing at a point where I just don't know everybody anymore. I guess that's a good thing, but I'll get to know everybody as we grow together. So he's got the double deals working in his business. Everything shows up. You want to implement. If you can be like Randy, have an Amy helping you implement, that's great. We had another great member, Fawad Zavari, down in Houston at Exclusive Furniture, who competes with Gallery Furniture, both great retailers. But there's a guy in Houston competing against some of the biggest of the big, involved with some of the biggest level buying groups that there is. And he still saw value in Mattress Retailer Toolkit. And we talked. He's like, can this work for me? I have 11 dedicated mattress RSAs. I said, 100%. My only concern for you would be, do you have somebody that can implement this? He said, yeah, I do. He said, is it a problem if I share my login? I said, not at all. I said, the only thing I would ask is that if anybody would share their login within their team, please don't share it to others. That wouldn't be the right thing to do. But within your team, please do it.
Yeah.
But help them, get yourself an implementer, get yourself an integrator that can bring these out to your team, and you lead the tools, you lead the discussion with your team. But
100%, Randy. Everyone needs their Amy, just like
Yep.
I got my Jenny. I mean, I've
got Ben. We talked about that.
I couldn't do 10% of what I do without Jenny. So yes, everybody needs an Amy. Jeff, I cannot believe that we're at the end of the show. What would you like to say to our audience as we say goodbye?
If I may talk about, since you're a bed tech guy, can I talk about that offer bed tech put out?
Sure.
Yeah. So new MRT members, we put a code in the chat, in the live chat here, for bed tech, because bed tech believes so much in it. I published a press release today that'll get shared out more and more. But BedTech is offering a $97 product credit to any new MRT member that signs up. And that's the other thing. As we continue to grow this, we're going to continue to build value. Last month, we had free nights in Las Vegas. That has now ended. But, you know, if you took us up on that, you basically paid for like 2.5 months of member dues just with that value. Here, BedTech is being so kind as to offer a $97 product credit. So you get in, you stay for at least a month, and you're going to get that product credit. You know, not only do we make you money on the front end, but we're going to look to build value on the back end as well. And I'm really proud of the partnership because it says we're doing the right things, because the BedTech group knows retail, knows what retailer needs, and sees value in what we're bringing to their retailers. So the link to join up there, you have to sign up with that link if you want the credit. And that's for new MRT members that are friends of BedTech. So that's what I would say there.
Jeff, thanks for being here.
Thank
Everybody,
you.
go forward and sell $1 million this week. And it's July 4th. Big weekend, big week for all retailers, especially mattress retailers. So guys, have fun and sell $1 million. Thanks for being here, Jeff.
Thank you.